I'm Alien. My real name's Al. The truth be told, I'm not from this planet, yo. Never have more wise words been spoken. So, what does that mean? Well, for those of you that didn't watch an incredible film that came out called Spring Breakers, you would not know that I was just quoting a brilliant performance by James Franco as the character Alien. And why am I quoting Alien? Because there's an alien involved with our next announcement. Yes, the other night, as in last night, we finally got our third maze announcement here in Orlando. And also, Hollywood got its third maze announcement. We've been sharing everything so far. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Hollywood has something on its own and when we have our originals, which are coming up very soon. And that can only be something that everyone has been marking out for ever since we first found out about it, and that is the share of Alien versus Predator. And yes, I will go out on record and say I did not like the movies. I did not like the original. I did not like Requiem. I don't like either one of them. I think they're terrible movies. But that does not mean they will be terrible mazes. I am under the impression that a bad movie can make a great maze, potentially. There's a lot of bad movies that I've seen that I think could be great mazes and actually could work in reality, but don't work for me as a film. But that's the film critic in me talking. So, I waited until I got all the details, and that's the reason why the video is not out yesterday like it should have been, and I apologize for that. But, that being said, I do want to break everything down for you now that I have more of the concrete news. And even though I'm an Orlando guy, I'm actually going to start with Hollywood this time around. So we're going to start with what John Murdy said on Twitter, and John Murdy said the following. I'll quote him here. "Since man first turned his eyes to the heavens, the question has persisted. Are we alone? Is there something else out there? The idea that extraterrestrials may one day visit our planet, if they haven't already done so, has been debated for eons. Some prefer to think of these visitors as benevolent creatures, others as violent invaders. Now that question is about to be answered. A spaceship has crash-landed in a forest in a remote section of America. The ship belonged to a hunter race of aliens known as predators. But unfortunately, the ship was carrying life-form samples of another alien species. A species that uses human hosts to propagate their kind. Now those life forms have escaped into the countryside, and a battle between the hunters and their prey is inevitable. Unfortunately, when these two ancient enemies clash, humanity is caught in the crossfire. Welcome to AVP, Alien vs. Predator. A terrifying new experience where rival alien species fight to the death with Earth as their battleground. Featuring mind-blowing special effects and the two most iconic movie properties in the horror science fiction genre, Alien and Predator. So that's what John Murdy talked about last night. And here's some more deets that actually came out today. So let me break that down for you. And I can't believe I used the word deets. I should have said details. Sorry. I apologize. It's late. Or it's early, depending on how you're looking at things. Depending on what coast you're on. So, basically I waited for this because I wanted to break down everything, including the cryptic code word. Yes, the code name for this maze was Beauty is Only Skin Deep. And there were 3 hints, 2 of which ended up being red herrings. And also, this was supposed to be the Freak Out maze. The maze that would make everyone mark out, because it's so awesome we're actually getting it. And basically, it was revealed, just like I said previously, that there were 2 red herrings instead of just 1. So yes, there was only 1 actual clue that actually meant something, and everything else was just meant to throw us on a wild goose chase, which it did very well. But it's really interesting because there was something else that came out that was a special hint that people thought, it's probably a work, given the fact of what day it was, and that turned out to be correct as well. Also, thus proving me correct, because you know through watching the videos that yes, I did predict this to be the case. So let's talk about it, shall we? It's going to be on Soundstage 747, and that has been completely confirmed now. And my friend Tristan, HHN Fan 16, he has done a lot of construction videos on his channel, and he basically showed us when one time stage 747 was actually open, and we saw through the doors a very huge top to the maze. Like, basically it looked like it was going all the way up to the ceiling. So yes, this is going to really lead well to make everyone believe that this is going to be very astronomical. That's for you, Heather. And I'm sure you're extremely happy right now. Yeah, my friend Heather, Mystic Freak, very, very happy right now because she has been wanting this ever since we heard that it was a possibility to be coming to the event. But I progress. This also, right now, would, like I said, it's in that soundstage, and the code names, it's Beauty is Only Skin Deep. There were 3 statements, just like I talked to previously. Basically, it was just the business of beauty products. Nothing more, nothing less. So we were looking to try to figure out people that were beauty queens or models. That was a red herring. And the only thing we really had to worry about was, and the beauty is on the outside, on the inside side of the outside. Yeah, the only thing we actually really had to worry about was 3 simple letters. And think about it from that perspective. This was so easy, staring at us right in the face the whole time, that I feel stupid for having not figured it out quicker. I did figure it out, but it took me a little bit. And let me explain why. Because I went to all the red herrings. John Murdy, you're a crafty, crafty man. So, the business of beauty products equals one thing and one thing only. On the New York Stock Exchange, if you look up Avon, it is literally AVP. The business of beauty products. Avon. AVP. That's all we had to do. Granted, we went on wild goose chase upon wild goose chase trying to figure it out, and I spent many, many days, legit, trying to figure out this code name. And all it was just staring us right in the face. That is the brilliance of Carney, folks. It really is. There was also, like I said before, another supposed hint that was done on April 1st. So everyone would jump to the conclusion that it was meaningless and, oh, it's just a work to throw everyone off. No. And that's the reason why I speculated it wasn't, because it made perfect sense. And if you think about it from that perspective, the business of beauty products plus the hint of ding dong, like I said in the video, when you think ding dong, what's the next thing that comes to your mind? Avon calling. So yes, that was actually a legitimate clue that Murdy used Carney ways to get people to believe, since it was April 1st, that it was going to be a work. Kind of like how Dr. Jimmy does his videos on April 1st every year. A lot of that stuff is obviously a work, but there's truth in a little bit of everything. And as we have known, there was a lot of truth to everything, just not necessarily what we thought was going to be true. So yeah, that was rather crafty from Mr. Murdy here. So, John Murdy basically said this was going to be now talking about the Hollywood portion, the Hollywood version of the maze. And basically, it would go a little bit of something like this. The new AVP maze of the Universal Hollywood will answer the proverbial question asked by mankind since the beginning of time. Are we alone in this dark, vast universe? I ask that question every time I go to Men in Black. This will once and for all shed light upon the answer when it brings life to the violent creatures that are, cohabitating our world as it pits 2 rival alien species in a fight to the death with Earth as their battleground. Of course, we mentioned this already. This maze will cover a dangerous alien spaceship carrying a race of hunter aliens known as predators and a threatening new alien life form that uses human hosts to propagate its species, the xenomorphs. After the crash landing in a remote section of America and escaping to the countryside, the alien and predator become hunter and prey with a guest caught in the crossfire. Okay, so what this is right now is, from what it sounds like, honestly, something gets derailed, and I think you know what I'm going with this? Yeah, Alien vs. Predator could be have it derailed from last year in Orlando. I'm joking, of course, but it's the same concept, basically. It really is. Yeah, along the countryside, and there's a crash landing, and then they fight, and we're in the middle of it. That sounds like Havoc. So, anyway, AVP is the most technically complicated and ambitious maze that has ever been taken in Halloween Horror Nights history, said John Murdy specifically. And he said it's a monumental undertaking to recreate these massive iconic characters for a live event. But fortunately, they do have the expert assistance of Academy Award-winning makeup artist Tom Woodworth and Alec Gillis from Amalgamated Dynamic Incorporated. And they are the special effects geniuses that actually worked on the original creatures for the Alien vs. Predator film franchise. So they have graciously allowed Hollywood to cast from their original mold. So everything that you're going to see in the maze in Hollywood is exactly what was in the film. So it's completely authentic. So that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot. But like I said, that is the information about Hollywood. Now, you're asking yourself, Owen, you're going to talk about Hollywood first. Yeah, so I like to switch it up sometimes. You're not talking about your event. Well, I'm about to. The Orlando portion is a tad bit different, and I'll mention exactly what was said. This came off of the Horror Nights Orlando Twitter feed, courtesy of Mike Aiello, and he said, "This one's going to be intense, gang. The maze takes place within a Weiland-Yutani research facility dealing in bioweapons." This already sounds awesome. Communication has been lost with the facility dealing in extraterrestrial technologies, specifically xenomorphs. Pieces of transmissions were received detailing that the facility had become compromised and another alien species called Yacha predators. The predators are hunting both the xenomorphs and any human presence found. Guests will have to navigate through the labyrinth of destruction as they struggle to survive the ancient feud. This will be in a soundstage. Now, this is information that we thought we've known for a long time. It actually will be in a soundstage, and in this case is actually going to be sharing a soundstage with a maze that is yet to be announced. It's soundstage at 24, actually. It's going to be in the A side of 24, and this property is yet to be announced, and I'm sure at this point now it might actually be our last reveal at this rate. It will be the B side of 24, soundstage 24. So that was information that we just found out. And a couple of things that everybody has been thinking is going to happen is actually going to happen. With the soundstage, within the soundstage, they are incorporating elaborate puppet builds to achieve the aliens. And for those of you that were lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to go through the absolutely incredible maze in Orlando last year that was An American Werewolf in London, that I'm sure Hollywood is like chomping at the bit to be able to walk through, and they will be walking through when that announcement is made, most likely by the end of this week, actually, that's what I'm thinking. Not to give any dates away. But I will state that, yes, the same puppetry and technology that was utilized to create werewolves, amazing puppets, is going to be used to create the alien xenomorphs as well. And it's going to be incredible. Very excited about this. And I'll mention a little bit more about Orlando's maze, which is a little bit different and takes place in a different location. Aliens, predators, facehuggers, chestbursters, and possibly a few surprises. So can we get the queen? Can we possibly get a pred alien, maybe? I think both of these are possibilities. So, this is Orlando's little statement here. That was actually their press release. In collaboration with 20th Century Fox, Universal Orlando's entertainment team has taken this house to the next level with elaborate costumes and amazingly detailed sets for each scene in the house. This promises to be action-packed with a slew of horrifying moments that are iconic to the AVP films. You won't know where the next scare will happen, and you won't know from whom or from what. You get to navigate the egg nursery where the facehuggers may hatch at any moment. This is going to be awesome, by the way. You get to witness the sheer brutality of a predator as it rips the spine from its victims, which we haven't seen since 2010 in Hallowed Past, which of course harkened back to the Body Collectors in 2008, and a lot of people, including Dr. Jimmy, had a hard time actually seeing this scene right before their eyes. But hopefully it won't be something that people will miss. Hopefully the scare will be there. I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but yes, I definitely want to see the Predator rip somebody's spine out. It's going to be pretty over. So, there's going to be a room of lifeless bodies, and their chests are ripped open, indicating the fact that there's been recent alien bursts. Feel the fear of fully grown aliens lurking in dark crevices, waiting to lunge at you when you least expect it. Can you imagine it going pitch black dark in there and the only thing you can see are predator eyes coming at you? It's going to be freaking insane. Speaking of that, keep your eye out for camouflage predators who have made you their next target. Enter the raging battle, but remember, whoever wins, we all lose. So, yes. So it was officially announced that, as of yesterday, that Orlando is auditioning very, very specific roles for Halloween Horror Nights. Males 6'1" and above with very athletic builds, and males able to portray the age range of 55 to 65. I'm guessing we're looking at potential predators and doctors that will end up being, and scientists that will end up being inside the, inside the maze, obviously. And there's also looking for puppetry experience, which is awesome, because that's going to be the puppeteers for the alien puppets, which is going to be amazing. So, yes, if you are interested in that, go to universalauditions.com. So, yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. So, yeah, we're going to get a lot of really awesome stuff out of this. And Michael actually tweeted one last thing last night before he was done, and it was basically a picture of what, I'd love to show it to you, but obviously, unfortunately, I cannot. It was a picture of what the inside of one of the corridors is actually going to look like. And, oh my god, it's only the CG model of the corridor, it's not the actual picture itself of what we're going to walk through, but if it's anything close to this, I see numerous spots of things popping out at you. I see it's going to be extremely claustrophobic. Without a doubt, it's going to be very dark, it's going to be very damp, and it's going to be very claustrophobic. And I think it could be very cold in there too, honestly. Because the soundstage may just have amazing air conditioning. So yes, that also could be the case. But yeah, that's what we've got as of right now. And I wanted to shoot you guys out a video talking about Alien vs. Predator coming to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando and Hollywood. I honestly say right now that this is something I was really, really excited about when I first heard about it. Like I said before, just because I don't like the movies does not mean I'm not going to like the maze. And I'm thinking the same way about Dracula Untold. And oops, shouldn't have said that out loud. But then again, if you guys watched another video that I recently did, a very awesome video called All I Wanted to Know About Halloween Horror Nights 24, I learned watching pro wrestling. Cheap plug from last Saturday's video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I enjoyed that video. It was very fun to do. Then you would know that Dracula Untold may or may not be coming to the event if you figured out what my statement mean. If it means anything at all. It may not. Who knows? You'll find out soon enough. If those of you that did watch that video, once there is an official reveal of everything, I will go through and I will decrypt that video for you guys. So yeah. So I was very happy to successfully decrypt another John Murdy code name. Very excited about that. And there are 3 left. One is an original, and I'm going to be curious if I'm even close to what I think it might be. One is Empire, which it could go one of 2 ways right now, and it could be a share with Orlando, or it could be something that I said was coming to both events in January, but most likely, if this happens, will not come to our event until next year. And that's what I'm sticking to that, if that's going to end up being the case. And the other one being Soap Commercial, which I definitely know what that is. So yeah, I'm going to get that conquered as well. I'm just curious to see exactly how the pieces fit together in the puzzle. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think Alien vs. Predator is going to be an amazing house. I'm very excited for the maze, being able to walk through it. And really excited to see what they do with it. And for any independent wrestlers that are over 6'1" and kind of jacked, yeah, make your way to Hollywood, Orlando, and audition, because you know what? Indie wrestlers can get a nice job right now doing Halloween Horror Nights Predator work. Trust me, it would work very well. So yeah, I'd like to see that, actually, to be honest. And it would make perfect sense, because yeah, there were some guys that played Frankenstein in House of Horrors in 2012 that I thought, yeah, aren't you an indie worker? And I kind of got a nod, so yeah, there you go. That's what happens. We can spot our own, folks, who really can. So yes, that's what we've got. Alien vs. Predator is coming to both Hollywood and Orlando this year. Very excited for this. And of what's left to come, it's actually one of the things that I'm extremely looking forward to. There is one more IP I'm very looking forward to, and I know my friend John is looking forward to it as well, and he is chomping at the bit for it to actually be revealed, even though we already know it's going to happen because it's already been leaked out. But still, we have not actually got the announcement, and I think that announcement is going to come next week. Why next week? Well, what I'm going to think right now is that we are getting another reveal week in Orlando, and what I'm thinking at this point is it's legitimately right now the 6th of August. There could possibly be a reveal from Hollywood tonight. I'm thinking if Hollywood does a reveal tonight, we're going to get the announcement of their original maze. And that's what I'm thinking. As of this Saturday, the Saturday is Scare LA, and Scare LA will be an announcement. And it sounds to me like that is going to be a big deal, obviously, and it's one of two things it could possibly be, and there's going to potentially be a special guest. I think that An American Werewolf in London gets announced at Scare LA with John Landis as a special guest. And it just depends at this point. If we do end up sharing Dracula Untold, which I still think we will, no matter if Hollywood wants us to or not, I still think it'll happen. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but if that happens, I do think that Dracula Untold may potentially be the final reveal of Halloween Horror Nights on both coasts this year. So, Murdy did say on Twitter when someone asked him about it if Scare LA would be the last announcement, he said, pretty much, yeah, but there might be one more. So that makes me think right there that it's going to end up being one more that announces during our reveal week to coincide with our final reveal, which can end up being Dracula Untold. That's what I'm thinking right now, so who knows. So announcements, basically what I'm thinking right now are, I think we get an original maze announced from Hollywood tonight or tomorrow, and then we get Werewolf announced at Scare LA, and then potentially one more announcement to coincide with the end of our reveal week, which I'm looking at being August 11th through the 15th. So Scare LA is on the 10th, and I think starting the 11th, we actually kick into high gear and we do our reveal week, which is what I'm thinking is probably going to happen. Scare LA is on Sunday, not Saturday. I apologize. So yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I think is probably going to happen. For Orlando's event, will we get one more announcement before this week? You know, it's possible, but like I said, it lines up perfectly that we have 5 announcements left and 5 days in a week. Well, a work week, so obviously we don't do announcements on Saturday or Sunday, but still, turn it up on us, change it around. It's possible, maybe someday it'll happen. But yes, Monday through Friday next week, I think will be our official reveal week, and we will announce the original mazes, the 4 original mazes left to be announced, as well as, sorry, the 3 original mazes to be announced, and the 2 IPs that are left. So yes, that's what I'm thinking will probably happen. So, as always, I do want to throw my shoutouts real quick to all my awesome friends in the Halloween Horror Nights updating community. And they're all a bunch of really awesome people, and they're great friends of mine, and definitely check out their channels. HHN Fan, I'm an HHN Fanboy, Jeremy Films with a double Z, The Crazy Englishman, Deadly Fear 1283, as well as the Red Steel TV and the Thrill Seeker Network, Mr. Horror Nights, my friend Neil, UKHHN, the Horror Nights Updaters themselves as a collaborative, as well as my friend Tristan, HHN Fan 16, HHN Trogdor and Admiral HHN, as well as my good friends Jean, which is Psychomassacre Films, and my friend Vic, Dr. Emmett Brown 1. And, of course, continued shout-outs to the amazing Dr. Jimmy, and very interested to be able to hang out with some of you at the event this year. So, yeah, that's what we've got right now, and as always, if you haven't yet, go to Twitter and make sure you follow Horror Nights, at Horror Nights, John Murdy's connection to the Twitter world via Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. That's at Horror Nights. And if you'd like to follow Mike Aiello and the team in Universal Orlando, it's at Horror Nights. Excuse me. ORL, because Horror Nights Orlando makes sense, right? So, that's what we've got right now. So, if you like these videos, then tell me you like them. Leave a comment, subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet liked our Facebook fan page, go click like on our Facebook fan page. It's Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you'd like to send me a friend request on Facebook, it's Owen Disney. Follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney. Last but certainly not least, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions. You want to talk wrestling with me, Disney, Universal. You want to talk Halloween Horror Nights with me, we can talk about that. Ask me questions. You want to become a popcaster yourself. Or, if there's anyone out there that would like to have Sir Owen Disney on their podcast, which I'd love to be on a podcast right now, that'd be totally awesome. I did one with Ashley. I did Sticks and Flicks with Ashley for the Oscars last year, and I'd love to do a podcast, talk wrestling with you guys. We can talk Halloween Horror Nights. I can talk about Disney, Universal in general. Whatever you want to talk about, if you want to hit me up and get me on your podcast, it is sirowendisney@gmail.com. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.